shirts.
I know.
Did we plan this? No. Hello.
We unintentionally coordinated today.
Yeah, mine's supposed to be a play on a football jersey, I think, because
This is like a baseball.
It's got the number.
Nice. I like that one.
I don't know what the 98 means. My favorite is when you can't, this one and my Lila Bard shirt are my favorites because this one, it just, when I'm filming the angle, it just says girls. That's all you can see.
Oh, nice.
And then my other one is a Lila Bard quote that's like, I'd rather die on an adventure than live standing still. But when I'm filming, all you can see is I'd rather die. And I'm like, oh man, what message am I sending?
Right, there you go.
I'm okay with people thinking maybe I'm a lesbian or sapphic, but untrue.
You just need to be a little bit taller, Margaret.
But I'd rather not have people think I'm suicidal.
You just need to be taller. Well, hello, everybody. It is November 27th, which means we have 3 days left of NaNoWriMo. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Well, you're 10,000 words ahead of where I am, I think, so you're probably feeling better about it than I do.
Well, it's like part of me is like, okay, I'm really glad that this is over because it's been a lot this month. A lot of things happened in my life in November that were like, oh, by the way, here, let's also try to write a book. Which,
now, see, my brain just quit, so...
Yeah. And then, I also feel bad that, I've read 3 books this month, and I'm like, how am I going to do a wrap? I'm a booktuber. How am I going to do a wrap-up?
I'm just going to do a really short one, and possibly this time actually, in fact, talk about the podcasts that have been distracting me from audiobooks.
There you go. So, yeah. I might get a 4th one finished this month, but, that's going to be it.
4 is not bad. I am on...
Maybe I'll read some graphic novels this weekend just to, pump the number up.
If Bookly wants to, I think I've finished 2 because I finished Caliban's. No, I finished Abaddon's Gate today, and then I finished not today, but this month, and then hold on. So I finished 2 books so far. I'm hoping to finish 1 more, at least, maybe 2.
That's not bad.
So it'll be the same amount as I read last month.
Right.
We'll see. I might bust out. Oh, we're doing this weekend, so I probably won't bust out a middle grade and try and finish that.
That's the thing. I'm like, maybe Hoopla has some graphic novels I can read while I'm. But anyways, this morning we are writing. We are trying to hit that word count goal. I think I need to write at least 3,000 words a day.
I have to write
the next 4 days. But that's the thing. There's no way I'll be able to do it Monday. I'm really gonna try to finish by Sunday, or within 1,000 words.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get to where I only need to write maybe 2,000, maybe a little less.
Right. Yeah. So we can do it. So, anyways, everybody knows Margaret, but if you'd like to introduce yourself and what's going on your channel.
Hello, I'm Margaret. I'm the word nerd. I talk about books and writing. Occasionally, I wear shirts that you don't get the full message on. That make you question my mental health sometimes. The first time I noticed that, it was really when I was like, well, I'm not re-editing this. We're not refilming this. It's just going to go like this. This is how it happens. And now I've just, accepted it.
Right.
But I am working on a NaNoWriMo novel. I am mostly halfway behind. I'm at 28,000 words right now. I just hit 28,000 this morning. So we need to do some catching up.
You can do it. I have faith in you. Christina's here. Hello, Christine.
Hi, Christine. I haven't opened it back up, so I can't. But yeah.
Yes. And we're casually doing a 24 and 72 hour write-a-thon. It's not really
I was gonna try to do it.
It didn't really become an official thing, but we're doing that this weekend, and I've written for about an hour.
Yeah. So have I. I've got 55 minutes and 1,100 words under my belt.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. So that's good. All right. And then you have a live stream happening tonight, right?
Oh, I do. It's Friday, isn't it? Thank you for reminding me. I would have forgotten.
So, I remember some of us were talking about it in the chat last night, but I
thought you were talking to Christine.
No, because I asked Christine if she wanted to do one tonight, and then she's like, "Doesn't Margaret have one?" And
yeah, Margaret has one. I've got one tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm glad that you reminded me because I need to double check with my co-host.
Okay, well there you
go. Make sure Deja is still down. Yeah, everyone's probably like still in a turkey coma.
Right. Audrey says that nobody else is doing sprints right now, so come hang out. I did use the NaNoWriMo hashtag, so like hopefully people find it.
Nice.
But yeah, I think between the turkey hangover and like there's already a lot of people that have already finished, and like I feel like we had the same conversation last year. I know, right? But I feel like some people like, those last couple of days, like people just forget about NaNoWriMo because they've either given up or they've already finished. But no, these are like my crunch time.
Or they're avoiding it. Yeah, I know. I'm such a procrastinator, and like when you get down to the wire, I gotta have pressure. It's why I never finish anything. You gotta give me pressure. School was a very good place for me because I had to have stuff done, and there were consequences if it was not done.
You know, I was the exact same way. I don't know how many all-nighters I pulled because it would be like, oh, I have this 15-page research paper due at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
The morning class to do the homework for the afternoon class, that one happened a lot.
Mm-hmm. I've done a couple of occasions. I usually was a little bit better organized than that. I'd be up late the night before, like about midnight. I only tried pulling an all-nighter one time. It did not. Hamlet was involved.
Oh.
It did not. I had to actually sleep. I finished everything on time and everything was good, but I need sleep.
I had one professor that I missed one of his classes because I was like legitimately sick. And so I emailed him and I was like, hey, can I get the lecture notes from the last class because it wasn't there. And instead of just sending me like the PowerPoint presentation for that day, he just sent me the whole file for the whole semester. And I did not show up to his class until the final.
And he didn't notice?
No, because he didn't take attendance. And he was, and it was like an economics class. And I'm like, I hate it here.
So I was a theater major, so I had to take history of theater. And it's history of theater 1 and 2. And we had two different teachers. Normally it's the same teacher for both parts, but Dr. Rimschart went to Germany. But he was one that he would pass a paper around and you could sign your name on it. I was usually a stickler for like actually doing work and showing up to class and like doing your work in class, except when I was writing fan fiction in Dr. Pinckney's class, but it's fine. But like I was a stickler for like showing up because I'm, type A. Right. I like that attendance. But his class, he would sit and talk about his theater career. And it was good stuff to know if you wanted to be an actor and be on Broadway. However, it was not what he was going to be testing us on. So that class, and then the lady that took over for him was even worse about that and would go off on so many tangents. And it's just like, I can just read the textbook to get what I need to know. And what you are teaching me is not doing me. So there were a lot of times where I would sign my name and duck out. Like I'd show up to sign my name and then I would leave. Hers, I did a lot of like with her. I don't remember I think she might have actually taken attendance, but I did a lot of like, I would be working on something else, usually a game while in her class. Or I did the couple of where I would be listening to an audiobook or Taylor Swift while in her class. And like, you'd have your head down and no one could tell you had earbuds in.
Yeah, no.
I was a terrible that was my senior year too. So I was a worse student senior year than I was sophomore and junior year. I was like, none of this matters.
Senioritis because my advisor was like, hey, you have enough credits to graduate in the spring. And I was like, cool, peace out.
Yeah, I was just like, none of this, no one is going to be caring about my grade. It does not help that Dr. Pinckney was my very first teacher. And he literally, like his first class, he was like, grades do not matter in this work. No one cares.
Nice.
And I'd already decided I wasn't doing theater by the time I got to my final semester.
Right.
I was so checked out.
Bye.
I got more B's that semester than I ever had in my life.
Right. All right. Well, I am using the timer from Caitlin Duncan. Yes. Which is an awesome timer because you can it's time stamped, and so you can do however you want. So generally, I do 3 25-minute sprints on these sessions. So that's what we're gonna do, and then we will talk for 5 minutes or so.
Is that what we say that time is? It's just 5 minutes? 5.
That's the theory. I'm also not a stickler for needing to start at a certain time, because I don't know. I'm not as bad about that. I'm just like, let's go, let's write. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna write. So don't forget to mute your mic.
Yes, because I will.
You will. And we are back. So we have some people joining us that kind of came in midstream. First off, we have Merritt.
Merritt made it.
So welcome.
Where's
And
my stuff?
Rena had some cornbread, cranberry sauce, and coffee joining into Sprint. I definitely had pumpkin pie for breakfast this morning.
I had my brother go get me breakfast because I was like, I'm
Just
not going
realized
to
I'm
have time to
still
make
on
it.
mute. I'm eating apple pie for breakfast, so I understand.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that's nice. See, I'm gonna have sweet potato casserole for lunch. So, or
Sounds good.
lunner, I don't know.
Right. My eating schedule's all messed up. Courtney is here.
Oh,
And then we had, like, a ton of trolls.
I'm just seeing all these deleted messages.
Like 6 people.
Were they? I saw Aaron and reported Aaron.
Aaron the first one, and then there's another one with the same.
Yeah, Karen Baccaresis.
Yeah, and then there were 2 other people that like had the exact same thing, just with a different book. And I'm like, who wants to read the 5th book in a series? Ow. Right. So how did we do? Let me do some math.
331 words that sprint, and that brings me to 1452 for today.
Nice.
So like I think a third of the way to where I need to be according to NaNoWriMo to finish on time, and like 20% of the way, no, a third of the way where I need to be, I think, for no, not quite, like a quarter of the way where I need to be for the day, because I need to have like 7,000 for the day.
Nice. I got 646. That's a win. That's a win.
I also got T. So
I'm at 1574 for the day, which Nano says is 50%. I'm gonna try for more. It'd be cool if I could hit like 45K today, but I'm only at 39. So like I don't know that that's possible.
I don't even think I'm at 20K
yet.
No, it's always
ready
coronavirus.
shopping. Christine got 405 words and had to dip early.
I have gotten past the first hour of writing. Only 7 more hours to go today.
I mean, is this technically still? Do we get to keep counting this?
I'm not counting this. So I'm not counting this, and then we'll see. I would like to maybe get closer to 10.
Yeah. Try to get like more done today, and then that way you're
because Sunday I know for sure I'll have to do a couple of hours for meal prep, so it's gonna be harder on Sunday.
Yeah.
Merritt, your hair's not purple anymore.
I think it's because it's so dark in here right now that one light is like doing okay. If the sun ever comes through this window, though, it's gone.
Rena got 300 words. That is awesome. Well, Merritt, why don't you introduce yourself since we jumped on late?
Sure. I definitely look hungover, but hi.
We call it turkey hungover?
What?
We call it turkey hangover.
Okay.
I know, like that. No.
Merritt's like, it's not turkey, but okay.
I don't eat meat, but yeah. Hi, I'm Merritt. I recently changed my username, so it's no longer Fictional Fantasy. If you knew me from that, it's Merritt Worthy to match pretty much everything else on the internet. I talk about nerdy stuff, and I'm currently writing a zombie apocalypse-esque book about politics. It's weird, but that's about where I'm at. I have no idea what else to say. I'm way too tired.
That's fair. How many words are you at right now?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm
That's a good
currently
question. A question that is good.
18,550.
Nice.
So I'm not even at 20K yet.
Yours is difficult because it's like a lot of it is mixed media. And so like you don't get the the luxury of, describing things.
Not at all. And like the thing is like at this point, I'm far enough into what is happening that I would normally probably be at like the 35K mark. But because there's no description at all, it's harder. But then also there's so much more that has to happen that has to be explained, where I'm going to be having to do more than 50K words anyway. So I'm just like, what? How much am I gonna have to put into this book, like scenes wise? It's a fun time.
It would be curious to know like what the word count is for like Illuminate, because that's like not exactly the same thing. Obviously, like the plot's very different, but like the way that you're doing it is similar.
I'm gonna look it up because
like that's a 600 plus page book, but the word count, I wonder what it is. Hello, Courtney.
Hi, Courtney. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up because that's gonna bug me.
Courtney's in the chat now, and they got 496, but feeling super sad. It's okay. It's early.
That doesn't tell me what I want to know.
Word count of Illuminae is 109,185 words.
I can see that.
Yeah.
With the reports and everything, I can see that.
That's true.
So that's about probably what I'm looking at too, because I've basically decided that this book is going to be like in the style of like the Illuminae files, but closer to the content of An Absolutely Remarkable Thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Replace aliens with zombies.
I love it.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
So I cannot wait. Like I cannot wait till this book is done.
That's what gets you through your first draft. Lean into it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Worry about if it's too close later.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I just had no energy this month yet again. So
I honestly feel like Nano takes place in like literally the worst month of the year, because like we have the American holidays, and like so that in any other year other than 2020, like this is usually a huge weekend for me. And then if you don't work an office job and you work in retail or food, then that's a whole nother conversation.
Or like if you work in education, it's like everyone's got midterms or finals going on. It's a mess.
And then like on top of that, November is like peak seasonal depression time.
Yeah. Yep. So everything starts getting gray. So
and then like so like the only good thing to November is that we get that extra hour at the beginning of the month.
But it's not even like a 31-day month. It's only 30. So it's just like, oh boy, one extra hour when we could have had 23 more.
To make NaNoWriMo in like August.
Oh man.
Yep. Finals for students.
Mm-hmm.
So.
When I was a student, it was finals. We had midterms like the first week, finals the last week.
God.
And then also I would always be coming off of Rocky Horror and preparing for whatever musical was happening.
Yeah.
So it was like the first weekend was always Rocky, and then I'd have 2 weekends of like Hell Week and then the show. So it was like November was always a wash.
I think they decided November because Nano and November are an alliteration. So
lame reason.
It is, but I don't know. I think it helps because we need that little bit of extra motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And also we do have 2 extra, or if you're in the United States, you do have 2 days of holiday that you could possibly.
But then like, I mean, if I was trying to do this when I worked in service or in retail, like Wednesday, if you work in restaurants, is insane, or if you work in grocery.
Yeah.
And then if you work in retail, Friday and basically the entire week leading up to it is insane. So yes, you get Thursday, but then any other year where you're not in a pandemic, then that's usually a day with family. Mm-hmm. So you're probably not writing that much anyway.
Oh, see, I always wrote on like we go, we eat, we do all that, but I am always like working on something. So I would have something I was either reading or writing anytime we traveled. So my family's just used to it. Like, oh, Margaret's in the corner writing again. It helps that my mother was the exact same way.
Right.
So
I mean, like,
Mhm.
I am impressed that I got 2,000 words written yesterday with everything. Like, I mean, we didn't have like actual, like, we didn't have people over or whatever, but we had like a Zoom call and then like football and then cooking and then like food coma. Like, I'm like, I slept for like 3 hours yesterday afternoon.
I got 800 words written yesterday, but I also did a whole bunch of housework and was lazy.
Right.
Mhm.
Yesterday was my lazy day because I was like, I'm going to work real freaking hard today.
Right. All right, should we start our timers again? See, Courtney said that they're a therapist, so they feel burnt out when they get home to write.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
That's fair. Like, when you have to exert that much mental energy during your day job, the
Mhm.
last thing you want to do is come home and be creative. All right, another 25 minutes.
Sure.
Let's do it. We can start our timers too. Don't forget to mute your mics.
Yep.
And we're back.
Back. Bree's here. Okay, where's my timer?
Bree is here. Hello.
Okay, let me do some math. Pause for math. Did you ever think you'd hear that during a write-a-thon or write-in?
Right.
Wait, I don't think it updated my word count.
Oh no.
Oh wait, no. Yeah. Are you drunk?
If you hit enter instead of like update, it does not work. I figured that out.
Oh no, not that. I'm talking about for the words.
I'll also hit enter and sometimes it'll register.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because like if you delete something and then like re-add it in like in another place later on, it doesn't update the word count until you write another word, which is a fun time. I only got 121 words.
There we
done.
go. That
It
one.
was your first sprint of the day. You were warming up.
Yeah.
Got 814.
Wow.
A lot of dialogue in this one.
I don't think I got quite that many. I got 445.
That's
We are-
really good.
We are just getting to the point where the audience is going to truly realize that she has lied to the male love interest. That she is using him at the moment to get what she wants done.
Nice. I have passed 40K.
I just hit 29. I think I'll be able to. Well, we're only doing one more sprint. I don't think I can write 900 words in 25 minutes, but I'll be really close to 30K.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get close to 20K during this at all. Maybe by the end of the day. That's the goal.
Okay. There you go. Do you have a goal for this weekend? Like,
I don't
you
know.
have to change your official goal in Nano so that you still get your badge.
I know, right? I feel like my overall goal for Nano is to just hit 30K.
Okay.
But we'll see. We'll see if that's even possible. Because with me, I know I can.
Right.
Who
Well,
knows?
there are at least 3 more streams that we're doing because Margaret has one tonight. We haven't figured out if anyone's doing one Saturday, so we might want to like add one in. And then Christina's going to do one Sunday morning, but I don't know the time. And then Mary, you have one Sunday night.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll do that. And then I think Christina and I were talking about doing a word crawl Saturday.
Ooh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yes,
that's
please.
the one. Like that one is how I get the most words written because it's just like sit and do it for so long.
The word crawls are interesting because it's like they have very distinct like word number goals, but then
Right.
also time goals. So it's just
Or the
get
write
so
500 words in 5 minutes goal.
I think didn't we just skip that one? We were just like, yeah, no.
That's not happening.
Well, let's just do a word war. How many can you write in 5?
Right.
Yeah.
Hello, Autumn. How are you? We're trying to get some words written.
We're losing our minds.
That's basically what it is.
Brie, I feel that.
Decided to just continue building and planning since I suddenly got a full-time job. I mean, that's fair, like life. And also it's 2020, so like take the jobs you can get.
Yup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Part of why I'm still at my job.
Right?
It's sad. I literally am working in one of the best environments that I've ever been in, and like one of the best bosses. Like her goal is she wants to get it to a point where the company is able to support minimum $16 an hour
Right.
for every employee. However, I just kind of hate my job right now because it's so like I'm not making numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's hard. Like when you have to, like, especially in what you're doing, like when you have to like boil it down to like sales and numbers and like not actual human beings.
And we're in a slow period right now. So
Right.
not a lot of people are calling in for mental health services. And a lot of the ones that are have commercial insurance, which we can't take right now because we only have one person. She's completely booked.
Right.
So
That's frustrating.
oh no, I'm sorry. What did you do, Brie? I didn't know you were self-employed.
That's really cool.
when January comes around, I'm probably going to jump back on being I guess it's called a paid beta reader, but my stuff is more like a developmental edit.
Right.
I just don't have enough like working with other people to call myself a developmental editor.
I mean, yeah, but also, I mean, there's, I don't know, like, I feel like there are, like, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even if you start at like a lower rate than like an actual developmental editor did, you know, and do that for a few months.
I am.
I would imagine there would be a lot of people, especially like starting in January, that are first time authors that may have finished a manuscript.
Yep.
Or, you know what I mean? And may not be able to pay the price that an actual editor, you know, that has been doing it for years.
Well, paid beta readers, I mean, they're going to be like, it's funny because somebody did a tweet a while ago, like kind of saying you shouldn't be paying for beta readers. But I'm like, okay, so I've had beta readers. I've given books to my friends. What I do as a paid beta is not quite as much as like an actual editor is going to do, but it's still more than like your friends who are beta readers are. You're paying for the experience versus just giving it to anyone who's able to beta read.
Right.
So I'm just like
calling it something else would be a little bit more marketable.
Yeah. I don't know. There's an entire like section on Goodreads, a group where you can post and say, "Hey, I'm paid if you're looking to pay someone to help."
Is there?
Get your book better. Yeah. And I end up sending like an entire like basically developmental edit letter when I'm done. I'll usually only focus on like 3 things that need to be worked on. Because I'm usually getting things like after the first or second draft.
Right.
So I'm not like going into depth, and I'm not doing like line edits or anything, but I'd like to get to the point that I can do line edits and possibly like copy editing.
Right. Well, I mean, you have English and Lit as part of your like degree, right?
Yeah, I did a lot of, they're not part of my degree, but I did a lot of classes.
Right. Well, then that's where your experience is. You can call yourself an editor if you have that, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I've been writing for 10 years.
Right. So I would definitely be able, I mean, with your experience, I would be comfortable saying that that you could be a developmental editor.
Yeah.
You can just edit my book, and then you can officially like I edited.
Well, I've already I don't know RK Gold on Twitter.
Oh
yeah. They were looking for people to beta read their book.
Right.
And they like that's why I started doing paid stuff, because they were the second person in a row who is like published or in like actually like putting books out there that was like, this is what I pay people to do. Like, because I did it for free because I was trying to get more. But they're like, I pay people. This is the, because I have a friend who's traditionally published and I edited her novel. And she said, this is what I would have paid someone for.
Right.
This is what my editor did with the last book. Oh, that's cool. I just
did like wedding videos and photography, actually. An audiobook narration. That's cool.
What books did you audiobook? What books did you narrate? Maybe I'll go listen to those.
Audiobook narration sounds so interesting. Like Murphy Napier started doing it, and she did videos about like her experience doing it, and it sounds so interesting. I just don't think I can ever talk that slowly.
I'm like such a fast talker, so I get that.
It's not actually when you because I'm not an audiobook narrator, but I have done like reading aloud for a little bit during the beginning of the pandemic. I would read aloud to my friends' kids, and you kind of are conscious of I need to be a little bit more deliberate.
That's true.
About how I'm talking. It's not all that different, or at least it wasn't all that different for me to like switch to like when I'm doing a script or something.
Right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So, anyways, I've considered like maybe not going professional audiobook narrator, but like giving it a try with some stuff that's like Creative Commons, like Jane Austen or something.
Yeah, I know that there are like Skillshare classes you can take.
Yeah. Because I think it would be fun, but I'm not sure if it's something I would want to make a career yet. But I think it would be fun and something I have experience in to some extent.
Well, and then you would have experience that you could narrate your own audiobooks, which I think is really cool.
I don't know that I would want to do that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think The voices in my head are especially for like this one are so specific. I'd be like, I'd actually just rather have Bob Morley and Elizabeth Taylor or Eliza Taylor do the narration. Can I get Tom Boyega to do my mage book? Tom Boyega, Daisy Ridley, what you doing right now? Can I hire you?
Oh, funny. All right. Shall we do our final sprint of the session?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Don't forget to mute your mic.
Yes.
we are back with the last sprint.
My brother says hi again. He came in to see if I was still sprinting. I was like, yes.
Hello. I'm in this part where, also I put in the private chat. I was like, there's an inordinate amount of tea in this book.
I mean, yours deals with witches, right? It makes sense.
Yeah, witches in Oregon, and it's cold. It makes sense, but also it's like every scene that they're at like the house or the kitchen or whatever. Like she's always has a cup of tea. It's like her answer to everything.
I mean, that sounds pretty accurate to me.
Like, I think at this point, it's just part of her personality.
That sounds like a witch thing.
Tea is her personality.
Lead into that in the next draft. All right, hold on. Let me.
I will.
29598. 598. All right, update.
When I was working through this scene where I was explaining part of the magic system, and part of it had been written, like not the dialogue part, but the magic system and this like intricate part had been written last year. And I was like, man, I knew what I was talking about last year. It makes so much sense.
That's funny.
I was like, thank God for somebody who knew what we were talking about. Because that is not me right now. Now all I have to do is make it dialogue instead of info dump, and I can do that.
Oh my gosh, there's so much info dump in these first few chapters. I think now that we're getting further into the action, it's getting easier for me to write stuff, and like characters are having to do stuff. I mean, we're traveling right now, or the main character is traveling right now.
Right.
But she's gonna have to be sneaky here in a minute.
Well,
and then I have to figure it out.
A lot of my last, like my zero draft for this was very info dumpy. Because I had outlined before and then I like info dumped and now I'm like making it a conversation. Mm-hmm. So
I know a lot of the info dump that I've got, I'm like, I'm going to probably split this up and work parts of this in at different places. I just don't know where it's going to be appropriate or needed at this point. And I personally need to know it right now. So I just don't.
827
especially
words.
When it comes to characters.
Nice.
I got 527.
I wrote 80. That's it.
It means I'm almost halfway to where I need to get to today, according to Nano.
Nano, I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I've passed 41,000 words.
Good for you. You're doing better than I am. I am at 29,598. So we'll definitely hit 30,000 today.
That's
Maybe exciting. I'll hit 35,000.
How did we do in the chat?
If I'm lucky.
If there's anybody still here. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to take a little bit of a break after this.
Yeah, I've got to film some stuff. So
I need to probably like make some lunch. And then do some reheat Thanksgiving leftovers.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah. That's what everyone does. It's required. I don't know if we have any non-Americans, but like if you're from the US and you're doing American Thanksgiving, it is required to eat your Thanksgiving leftovers the next day.
I forgot about I didn't forget, but like I didn't think that I probably should have canceled my meal subscription box this past week because I'm gonna end up using so I just need to go and like freeze some of the meat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right. Well, thank you for joining. And if you guys want to plug your stuff before we head off.
Yes. 8:00 tonight. I will be on my live stream with my brother and possibly Deja from Diary of a Reader. We're not sure how we're going to work that out because he is here with me. So that does make
your Wi-Fi.
Hosting, no, it doesn't mess up my Wi-Fi, but it's going to make hosting and having him on the screen as well a little more difficult, especially since I use this guy now you can't see that. This now, instead of like my headphone jack.
Right.
So, and we always end up with weird echo when I try and use my computer's stuff. So I don't know how we're going to do that.
We'll figure it out. All right. And then Merritt.
Sunday at 6, I'm hosting a live stream with you all, and I think that's about it. I'm on TikTok. I haven't really posted in a little bit, and if you're doing Whamageddon, I definitely suggest not looking at my TikTok for a little bit, but
Did you like purposely make it so people would lose that?
I wasn't purposefully doing it. I just have a thread that every time one of my followers tries to wham me, I do it back. So it's like, oh, someone tries tagging me in something, I make a duet to that thread and then just post it without the audio on for me, but it's there for them. So they've been trying very hard.
That's funny.
So 8 o'clock tonight, and that's Eastern time. And
yes, 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then one thing I did forget to mention, because I literally just posted it and I haven't done the video for it yet, because that's going to be part of my TBR video. But if you go to my Twitter, which is the same as the name that you have right there, and you're looking for something to spice up
behind.
Yes. If you're looking for something to spice up your reading life for the final month of the year, I have a bingo board that I have created for the my 2020 Reading Wrap Challenge. And it's just basically like random prompts that are kind of easy to fit to any book that you can use to kind of put a little spice in your end of your year.
You should send me that before I film my TBR.
I can do that right now.
Because I think I might take a month off of categories and then just start over in January.
Yeah, well,
categories do not go well in November.
I started doing that because I like to, if I start a book in a year, I like to have it finished by the end of that year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so this kind of motivates me to do that, because it's one of those, it's a challenge where you can take books that you've already finished. Like some of the prompts are actually like oops DNF, like one of the prompts. And so I started that, and it also makes me read other books that I wouldn't have read. So.
That's a good idea, because I do have some that I would like to finish by the end of the year, and if I played categories, they may not fit.
Yeah. I'm just like, I need to finish, like that's my goal, is to finish the ones that are on my bedside table that I have started or I'm supposed to be reading, because if I don't get, some of those have to go back on the physical TBR if I don't finish them.
Right. No, that makes total sense. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me, and make sure that you check out our channel. Links are down below, as well as the timer that I used. I also linked that one down below because I love that timer. And with that being said,